So Tench rods, what are the best Tench rods? The top 5, top 10 Tench rods. So just to put you in the picture, so you're likely sort of gravel pit fishing, you can catch them in rivers, you can catch them in canals, this, that and the other, but most often the tactics for Tench these days, it could be with a float rod, so we'll look at some of those. Some venues, particularly gravel pits, might want some sort of a bolt rig with boilies or heavy feeder rods. I primarily do a lot with the feeder rods because it's quick to set up and it's pretty sort of tactical, safe, so to speak. It's reliable sort of method, especially early in the morning if you're turning up and you need to be fishing sort of straight away. So we'll look at some rods. So there's a rod by Corum here, not particularly expensive rod. It's regarded as a good budget rod. It's about 60 quid. Okay, it comes in 11 and 12 foot. And so it's, it's sort of good for ledgering, float fishing, for, quite biggish fish. It's got a cork handle, compact reel seat. It's got the latest K-Flex carbon technology. So it's yes, you can use it for Tench, but you could probably use it for other bits and pieces as well, like barbel and stuff like that. So so it's good variety of different disciplines there. The float and fishing on the bottom. Just saying here, the recovery on the rod could be better. So it's sort of saying the casting. So you get what you get for 60 quid, but there's a good budget one there. So this is number 2, the Drennan Specialist X Tension 13-foot float. Okay, 120 quid, a bit more expensive. So yeah, it's a bit of an all-rounder. It's got a pretty good sort of rod action, good fish playability. That's float fishing, fishing for bream. You can use it for trotting maggots down a river in winter. It's got a 13-foot model here, and it's got a retractable telescopic butt. Makes it a bit easier to transport. So the specialist angler, they like to buy this rod. It's been designed to handle heavier reel lines and cope with bigger fish using float tackle. So maybe towards the end of the season when the gravel pit's a lot more weedy, the fish are sort of put on a bit more weight, and it's got a bit more grunt in it to use heavier lines. So I generally use about £8 line for Tench. I see some people use 10. So it's just advantages of the rod. It's lightweight build. It's perfect for float fishing. Disadvantages: the retractable butt section might not sort of suit everybody. Rod here regarded as the best all-round Tench rod, £110. Well, £107.99. You can get it at the Guru Engage Specimen Twin Tip, £1.25. Alright, so it talks about it's got quite a light action, twin tip, suited to float fishing, specimen roach, bream, tench, smaller carp. So it's got some quivers with it as well. Talks about a mixture of 30 and 40 ton carbon, gives it a soft top end. Okay, so it's going to be a reasonable rod if you're paying £110. I mean, it's got a good read up. So it's a reasonable price. It's regarded as the ultimate go anywhere fish, any method Tench rod. So it's very versatile. It's got a powerful action to tame, so it's got plenty of grunt. Talks about its disadvantages, talks about it being a little bit stiff for some anglers, so you might want a sort of something, a little bit lighter maybe. So the Daiwa Twin Tip Power Mesh 1.5 talks about being best in the class, £165. Just twin tipped, quiver tips. It talks about being thin and responsive, blank, lightweight. Sea guides, skeletal sea guides, and it's got a sort of a good action. They're talking about sort of fish lunging action. It's suitable for ledgering. Avon style tip lends itself beautifully to powerful float fishing on clear and weedy venues. Strong fish need rapid subduing and guiding to the net. Okay, so it talks about carbon pipe reel seat, Fuji hoods and full cork handle with arm lock for comfortable and touch of class. Good as they get. You'll struggle to find a better all-round tench rod. So that's £165. So disadvantages, not the best casting performance, so that's a little bit unusual. Incredibly lightweight, performs incredibly well regardless of method. Alright, so that's a real good all-round one. Sounds like you couldn't go wrong with that. It's £1.5 though, strikes me as a little bit on the stiff side. So this is the Drennan Specialist Twin Tip, 1.25, £1.25, 120 quid. Well balanced blank. 2 sections, Avon style, good for float and specialist work. So got second quiver is 2 ounce glass and 3 ounce carbon tip. Perfect for both still water and running water situations. Okay, SICK guides, secure DPS reel seat, cork handle, stylish matte green blank, hugely versatile rod from Drennan. Tackle multitude of venues, species. Tench concern, the rod is where it shines, powerful enough to take control of the fight, but enough for balanced gear and the fight to be enjoyed. So disadvantages, does lack a bit of power for really long range fishing. Reliable and strong, okay. It's the original tench rod, trusted by many top anglers over the years. 120 quid. See, a bit more upmarket this rod here. This is the Fre Spirit Tench Seeker. Best build quality, 320 quid. So that's where the you know, real enthusiasts buy. 12 foot, 2-piece rod, £1 6 ounce test curve, semi-progressive action. Good for casting feeders and leads. Handling big tench in weedy swims. Sensitive tip means it can be used for float fishing. Okay, so it lasts for years. It's got a full cork handle, clone 3K reel seat, S-light guides. So it talks about it being one of the best rods. So advantages, incredible build quality, unrivaled sensitivity, which would be a really nice fishing rod. Disadvantages, suitable for more expensive than rival models. Substantially more expensive than rival models.